Okay, let's get straight into it. All right, ladies and gents, today's show is brought to you by OMRG Motors, the vehicle sourcing specialist. New year, new me. How about new year, new motor? Save thousands on your next car purchase with competitive APR rates as low as 9.8%. OMRG Motors are unrivaled by most main dealers. I repeat, most main dealers cannot match their rates. OMRG Motors has a broad lending panel that covers prime to subprime lenders. All that means is that even if you think your credit is poor as, they still just might be able to get you that whip you've always wanted. You've had more CCJs and BJs in your life? Give OMRG a call. They might still be able to help you. Less credit than a spotty teenager with his first pay-as-you-go phone? Give OMRG a call. They might still be able to help you. Bless your cotton socks. If you've got about the same financial trust as 10 Ivan Tonys, give OMRG a call. They might still be able to get you approved. OMRG is so confident in their rates that if you find a lower APR elsewhere, they'll match the savings and sort you £250 in cash. Use discount code ONELEAGUE to get £100 cash back on your next car purchase. Rate so low, it'll make you say OMRG. Socials are at OMRG Motors. Website, all the w's.omrgmotors.co.uk. Now let's get moving.
Hey, good. I enjoyed that.
What you saying? Hey, I might have to start asking you to rate it out of 10, because that wasn't as good as the last. You weren't.
I'll be real. Last time
it was better, innit?
Yeah, it was better, man.
I told you I'm getting bored, bro. So, hey, I'm open for suggestions on any of the banter. You know, it's getting a bit boring. So, hey, I'm open for suggestions.
No worries. All right. I'm going to give... let me rate it before I go on.
Okay.
I'm going to say... I don't do sevens.
Hey, what? No sevens allowed?
No sevens. So I'll give it... I'm saying 6.
6, yeah?
Your last one was an 8.
Ooh, okay.
But
yeah, you've
One League, another episode. We've got Aaron McClean on today. Big guest. Big guest. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, One League.
Wait, I thought you said we're calling him Maccas straight.
But you got to introduce people first. Yeah, but it's...
Oh, sorry.
Hey, have you been in the change room?
What? It's official first and then...
Hey, when the gaffer introduces someone, he introduces them by the first name, with a full name, then after the nickname comes. Am I right?
It's true.
Do you know what? Wherever I got a Nigerian name, maybe it's takes a
different.
bit long, innit? Yeah.
You have to start with the nicknames.
Yeah. Got it backwards. But yeah, happy to have you on the show. You know, it's one I've been wanting to get on for a while, so yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So, for me, I'm so interested already. Like, I've done a bit of homework. I know you started off at Leighton Orient.
Mm-hmm.
What age was you when you started off there?
So I went to Leighton Orient at 16. I spent from 10 to 16. I was at Chelsea, so all through school. And then I got let go from Chelsea just before they were giving out YTSs. So I went and joined Leighton Orient. One of my good friends at the school that I went to, Simon Downer, was already at Leighton Orient.
Okay.
So he'd spoken to them, got me to come down.
Was he a player your age or sort of?
He was a year above me.
Okay.
But he was already in the first team at Leighton Orient.
So he held weight.
So yeah,
he held weight.
So
yeah.
and he said to him, "Look, he's just been released from Chelsea. Good player, and Leighton Orient were Division 3 at the time.
Okay, so what's that, League 2?
League 2 equivalent.
Okay,
yeah.
Can I ask as well? You see Chelsea, were there any excuses? What did they say as the reason why?
No, to be honest, I half knew I wasn't gonna get one.
Okay.
Chelsea brought in a lot of foreign players.
Okay.
And listen, Chelsea were one of the elite teams. You know, Leon Knight was one of the best players.
Yeah, I think that's general consensus out there.
Yeah. Listen, 90 was top. My age group, 90 and Defoe were the two.
Yeah, that everyone's raving about. Yeah,
like a different level.
And you were a striker all the way through. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was a striker all the way through.
Okay.
But we had like Carlton Cole would come and play he'd come and play up and play in our age group.
Yeah, big up Carlton.
Big up Carlton.
Always.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew, when, as we was getting to decision time, that I probably wasn't going to get offered a YTS. So the way that I got released probably wasn't the way that I would have liked to have been.
How'd it happen?
It was just a phone call. It was just a phone call to say, we're not going to offer you a contract.
Serious.
And then it's from there, you're like, right, what do I do?
What do? You spent from 10 to 16 and you just get a phone call, you know? Like,
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? Like, obviously, knowing a bit about the academy system, you would think a club like Chelsea would do a bit more to sort you out after that.
I think it's a lot better now.
Yeah. 100%.
I think it's improved now. I think that, listen, I'm 40 now.
Yeah.
So we're going back a long...
Pre-Cobham Chelsea.
Yeah, Harlington. This was Harlington days.
Yeah.
this is before the money.
Trust
This is
me.
before the
Trust me,
takeover.
This is before. So, yeah. But back to your question, Leyton Orient was where I first really started. That's you leave school. I signed YTS forms at Leyton Orient, and then it's kind of where it started.
So, to cut back to Chelsea, funny enough, I had a phone call from someone on the Friday. Yeah, and they said that they played with you at Chelsea. I'll give you a clue. He's Irish.
Ryan Maxwell.
Yes, Ryan Maxwell.
Listen, Max was a baller.
I
Max
know.
was like the Roy Keane.
Yeah.
He was-
I get that.
Honestly,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
the Roy Keane of that age group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever we played against, no one wanted to play against Max because he was. You see that fiery attitude that he's still got today.
He's got that now. Yeah.
He had that from as a 10-year-old. He had that all the way through, and he could play as well.
I've played with him, and I've played against him, and then I've been managed by him.
Yeah.
I've been managed against him. Still the same.
Where did you play with him?
Played with him at where?
Oh,
So it was
sick.
at where when I was
Okay.
young.
Yeah.
But he spoke so highly of you.
Yeah.
Max
So
was
highly.
brilliant.
Yeah. He said he used to go home with you lot. He
Yeah.
used to go home with you a lot
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. Rated you highly. So yeah, you've gone Leyton Orient now. Oh, do you want to?
No, do you know? And obviously, when people come on, I kind of started this new segment where, obviously, any guest that comes on, try to do my research and I have a look on Wikipedia.
Mhm.
So I call it, probably looking for a new name, Wikipedia. We ain't believing you. So you can verify whether one or two things are right.
Okay. Yeah.
I found this strange, and it probably isn't, but I just don't meet many people from this area. But it says you're from Hammersmith.
Yeah.
As in, born in Hammersmith, raised in Hammersmith.
Born in Hammersmith, lived in Hammersmith early life, then moved to Bethnal Green,
Okay.
and then moved to Dagenham.
Yeah.
So- Yeah.
You know when you go to like those events and it's like, oh yeah, shout out anyone from North London?
Yeah.
Bro, anyone from West London is always quiet.
Yeah.
I don't meet many people from West London. You know
Not
what I'm
many.
saying?
There's not many.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not many, but yeah, that's
So the
that's
East, so the East London kind of.
East London's where I make from when I'm actually out on the roads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
It's more East, but yeah, I was born in Hammersmith, and people always say, like, I support Chelsea,
Yeah.
and people always say to me like, support Chelsea. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I was born in Hammersmith, so really it's either going to be Chelsea or QPR anyway. Like, I've got
Fulham maybe.
or Fulham,
Yeah.
and because I was at Chelsea as a kid,
Yeah, you just love.
we used to be ball boys for all the games
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that was from when I actually started following a team. That was the team I was always gonna follow. So at least I can back it up. And I can name players
Yeah.
before the money came.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to always listen, trust me, as a Chelsea fan, when they were going through their successful period, you had to be able to start reeling off John Spencer and Mark Steen and Dimitri Karin and old school players.
Yeah.
But I'll be real, I don't know these man still.
Yeah.
That's more.
And you don't need to.
It's the era, yeah.
It's the people that want to look at you and say, nah, you only support them because they're
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
got all the
they're
money.
rich. Listen,
You have to be able
I've
to
got a lot of cousins that came fresh from Nige, man, and all of a sudden they supported Chelsea. I'm like, you lot didn't even know Chelsea before
Bro, they
that.
probably
so-
support them because of Obi Mikel or something.
No, trust me, bro.
Yeah, that's what
the
it is.
late ones.
But-
So yeah, I was gonna say. So what was the transition from a club like Chelsea, and obviously with all due respect to Leyton Orient, but they're kind of miles apart. A club like Leyton Orient, what did you find? Like, what were the differences?
Well, honestly, when I left Chelsea, I'd lived in this bubble of I only really knew Premier League teams.
Yeah,
I lived in a bubble. I wasn't really even that aware of Leyton Orient. I obviously I knew my boy played for him, but in terms of like Division 3 teams and stuff like that. I was so oblivious to it. I just always thought I'm just gonna play.
Yeah,
for
a lot of people
Do you know
say
what I mean?
that.
Like
You know?
that's kind of the way I thought at that age. So
Yeah.
it was totally different. At Chelsea, you was given everything. Like you had the track suits, you're given the boots. We were sponsored by Umbro at the time, so we used to all have these Umbro Speciales, and
Yeah.
it was just you was just given everything.
Yeah.
Everything was there.
You was given
Then
the
you
world.
but then I kind of entered into the men's world where I'm now a youth team player.
Yeah.
So you get your training kits and whatever, your 2 training kits, but you have to wash your kit yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking it home. Yeah. You're
And
taking it home, yeah.
and it's not Umbro or Nike or anything. I think it was like Matchroom Sports. I think Barry Hearn, I think it was his company.
Barry Hearn.
They
okay.
made the kits. So it weren't, do you know what I mean?
It weren't proper Umbro.
It weren't dropping the way that
yeah.
it weren't dropping the way that the Nike or the
Yeah.
Umbro or the Adidas or anything. It weren't dropping like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was different. Like training ground was different.
Yeah.
Everything was. They didn't have the finances that you have at the bigger clubs.
Yeah.
Even though we're only young. So yeah, it was a totally different
world, didn't it?
world. Yeah. But it was one that I can't knock it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know
yeah?
what I mean, I loved it.
And funny you say that because I feel some people would struggle to adapt to that.
Mm.
You know?
I think it depends on how long you're in the system. I
Yeah.
think you look at the kids today. So if I'd have been at Chelsea through the youth team and I'd been used to going to Harlington or the lads that are now at Cobham, been used to that for a few years
Yeah.
and then going into it,
Yeah, it might have been a stark
different world.
contrast. Yeah.
It's a different
100%,
world.
100%. Okay, yeah. It's funny because obviously my boy, he's in Cammy, they played at the top team like Man City, and then obviously they play for a decent club. But the boys that play for Man City, they're saying, "Oh, look at this pitch." And they're thinking, what's wrong with our pitch? You know what I'm saying? But they're blaming certain things going on. They're saying, "Oh, the pitch is terrible." And they're thinking, bro, but it just shows you that certain clubs are used to
different
levels,
levels.
and that's the same all the way up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, not just young like academy football. That's the same in senior football.
Yeah, yeah,
When these big boys come down, because at the top level, everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
The grass is cut to a specific length.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
There's no divots.
yeah,
At the end of training, the groundsmen are all on the pitch straight away,
yeah,
making sure that for the next session,
yeah.
It's top
the
there.
pitch is perfect.
You
So
got the automatic sprinklers coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
and
all them
yeah.
things. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's the same all the way.
Yeah, 100%. And when at Leighton Orient did you start thinking, hold on, I could have a career out of this?
Pretty quickly. I'd played in the first team while I was still 16.
Oh wow. Okay.
How did you find that though? Sorry to cut you. How did you?
I don't think I look now and I wasn't ready.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I wasn't ready. But I was young, enthusiastic, worked hard, and the manager was like, "Yeah, look, let's chuck him in." And when I look back at my time at Orient, like I loved it there. Like it was so good. Such a good group of lads. Just a really, really, really good club. But I look at myself as a player and I think, oh my gosh, I was so raw.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was
yeah.
so raw. And I don't even know how many appearances I made. I think it's something like 60 odd.
Okay.
Oh,
I think it's like,
So what's that? That's like 2-3 seasons, no? 60 appearances.
yeah, well, I was there for 4 years. I signed 2 years YTS, 2 years pro.
Okay.
Okay.
But I was never ever looked at as a starter.
Okay.
I was always looked at as he's one of the youngsters who he'll come on and if we're winning, he'll come on and just be able to like cause carnage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And help us to win the game.
Yeah.
If we're losing, again, same thing. He'll come on and he'll just run around and whatever. So I was never looked at as the player that was going to come in and be starting the games. I think I only started 2 or 3 games.
Wait,
Okay,
were you okay with that?
I wasn't okay with it.
Okay.
But
Like knocking on the manager's door sort of thing? or-
nah, because I think especially when you're a young player coming through, and I'd had 2 bad injuries whilst I was there.
Okay.
One was when I was in the youth team. I had a Liz Frank fracture, and which is like in between your big toe and your next toe. It breaks down the middle and then splits, and then all your toes dislocate. So it's like it's a career-ending injury.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I had that. Then I came back from that.
You have to have it up.
Yeah, I've got
Okay.
scar. Like my left foot is scarred up
Okay.
from that, and then I came back. Then I was back in the first team. Again, just coming on every week, but I'm coming on for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Wow.
Like
To get a
it's
run
not.
in, man.
I'm not coming on for like half an hour and
Yeah,
whatever.
where you can do something.
I'm coming on like last knockings of the games. So all those appearances probably totaled up to probably about 7 games.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
get you.
Put it this way,
that-
you're doing the running at the end.
Yeah,
Put it-
oh, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You're
Without-
doing the
without-
running at
Doing the
the end.
box to box.
You're in the next day.
Yeah,
With the
yeah,
youth, you go. Yeah, you're in the
If
next.
there's a
day.
next game, if there's a game the next day with the
Oh,
youth team, you're
100%.
in that. You're in that. Yeah.
But because I'd had those 2 injuries, and I broke my ankle.
What, left as well?
Left side
Hey.
again.
Wait, left of your favourite foot?
Nah.
No, he's right foot.
That's strange, isn't it?
But you know what? It's funny you say that because I'd say by the end of my career, my left foot's better shooting.
Yeah, like a couple of the goals I was watching, like
A lot of my goals, I ended up scoring with my left foot. But that's not because of the injuries.
Okay, practice.
That's purely because I didn't think I was good enough on my left side. And
Okay.
Tony Cotty was my striking coach
Okay.
when I was at Leyton Orient. And he always used to say to me, look, you might get 1 chance in a game. You might get 2 chances in a game.
Mm.
And they both might fall to your left side.
Yeah.
And if you can't take at least one of them, you're not going to
No good. You're no good.
And you're not going to be able to make a career in the game.
Mm.
So I used to, like, when I say work so hard on my left foot, and especially because I'd had injuries on it and whatever, I was adamant that I'm going to make sure that I can use my left foot.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's a credit though.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a credit still. That's a credit.
Yeah, do you know what's strange? I've seen coaches kind of coach the other way and say, do you know what? Just play with your dominant foot, which is why it used to be more so in the past, but you see certain players, they just rely on their dominant foot. And I think I was having a conversation with a coach who was at Tottenham for a long time, but he was like, look, it's that debate of, do you want a really strong one foot, like a right foot, for example,
Yeah.
or do you want a decent two? And he's saying he thinks like coach, okay, an extreme example, but would be Messi.
Mhm.
Doesn't rarely use his right foot. See what I'm saying? So they think that the more you coach and put the emphasis on one foot, actually you don't need that other
But
foot.
he's an extreme
And
measure.
that's
extreme.
That's my argument. I
Yeah.
think that in if you look at a professional game, or you look at not even just a professional game, but all the way down the pyramid.
Yeah.
If you can't use both feet, you're limiting yourself.
Yeah.
Because there are only a minute amount of exceptions, like your Messi's.
Yeah.
But then you look at someone like Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne can do it with both feet.
Yeah,
no
100%,
problem.
100%.
And he's one of the best in the world.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think, especially if you've come through the academy, I can't see an excuse for not being able to use both feet.
I agree
Yeah,
with that as well.
yeah.
I can't see it
It's
because
spending
you
so
have
much
so much
time. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
then it does come down to, one, it comes down to the coaches. Are the coaches making sure that they're spending time when you're doing technical sessions? Are you making sure that they're doing enough work on both sides?
Yeah.
And it comes down to the individual. How much
How bad
do
you want
wa-
this?
Yeah, how much do you want to improve?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you now, you look at the numbers that every single year want to be professional footballers. Then you look at the amount that make it, and then you look at the amount that, okay, they make it, but can't stay in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
numbers
that's
are
it.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
That's what they say. At least 50 appearances before you even start calling yourself a pro. At least 50.
I always say, like, it's one thing to make it. It's harder to stay there.
Yeah.
It's
I've heard
so
that
much
as
harder
well.
because
It
you
is.
get to a certain age, and if you haven't, like you say, if you haven't played a certain amount of games,
Yeah.
then you're no longer classed as a youngster or
Yeah.
potential anymore because there's a kid behind you,
Yeah.
There's someone that
yeah.
wants your shirt.
Yeah.
There is.
100%.
and they'll give it to them because there's no risk with them.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, it's like, yeah, but he's only a youngster.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Yeah,
got
Once you
time.
get
there's
to
an
a certain
excuse.
age,
There's
got
an excuse for
time,
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Once you get to a certain age and you're no longer classed as a youngster, you better be established.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that.
So, okay, so 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, coming off the bench. You're clearly not happy with it. What was the exit like from Leyton Orient?
Well, I got to the end of my second year pro, and there was myself, Jabbo Ibire, who we was both in the same age group.
Okay.
Now Jabbo had got into the first team and was playing week in, week out, was
Okay.
doing really well, flying in the first team. I was coming back from another injury, and we already had, I think 3, maybe 4 other senior pros who had at least another year, if not longer, on their contracts. So they were like, look, really, we can only keep one of you.
Okay.
Me personally, I would have let one of the others go because we're both youngsters who both
Yeah.
got the potential to go and play in the first team.
Yeah.
And when we very, very rarely did we ever get on the pitch together. But when we did, like in the youth team, we ripped it.
Yeah, I can
We
imagine.
ripped it together in the youth team.
Was that down to formation why you really got on together, or was it?
It was just down to the manager. He'd only put, it would either be Jabbo go on or it
you.
would be me.
Okay.
It would be very rarely when they'd put us both on together. But yeah, they decided, look, they're gonna release me. So it was like, okay, I have to look for another club. And I'd gone down to Colchester. So this is just before the end of the season. I'd gone down to Colchester, played a couple of friendlies for them, did well, scored. But then they said they wanted me to come back pre-season.
Okay, yeah.
Now, Aldershot were getting promoted into the conference
Okay.
at the time. Now, again, I don't know anything about non-league
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
Because I've only been
Even
do you
in
know
the
what I mean?
bubble.
I'm now in a different. It's a lower bubble.
But
But
you're
I'm
still in the
I'm
bubble.
in a different bubble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
I don't know anything about non-league football.
You got an agent this time.
The club had given, like, all the youngsters, they'd given us all an agent.
Okay.
Now, this one guy looked after all the pros.
Oh,
I
all
knew
the
he was
young
going to say
pros.
that.
Okay.
I knew he was going to say
All
that.
the young
Yeah,
pros,
yeah,
they'd said, yeah, right, you're with this guy. He was terrible. Like,
yeah.
so he wasn't around. He didn't do anything.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
when you're getting released, they don't care.
But when you getting these Aldershot and Colchester opportunities, is that off his back or is that
That's
off
the
your
club.
own back?
No,
that's the club.
The
Yeah.
club had spoken with
Aldershot.
the
Okay.
club had spoken with Aldershot. They said, look, Aldershot are interested. And then Aldershot had offered me a contract for next season because they were more or less guaranteed to go up. So it was a case of, look, you can go there now till the end of the season, and then they're going to go up, and then you'll be playing international in the conference at the time. So yeah, I said, yeah, look, I'll do that. So I went there, and it was brilliant. Spent 2 years at Aldershot, got to the playoff final, lost on penalties in the playoff final.
You score your pen?
I didn't take one.
Oh.
I scored in the game, so we drew 1-1, and then I'd come off.
Oh, okay.
I'd come off injured.
Oh, okay.
He's got a thing for that, you know.
Yeah, hey,
He's
bro,
got a
I've
thing.
gone to my son, boy.
Yeah, he's got a thing.
Do you know what
for
my
it.
thing is? It's worse not to put yourself forward for one, especially when you're an attacking player.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. You have to listen. I think even if you're nervous about taking one, you have to. That's what helps you to grow.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have to take one. You
responsibility.
actually have to go.
Take
You actually have to go.
responsibility,
You
exactly.
actually have to go.
Yeah.
100%.
He's big on that. That's why.
Come
He's big
on.
on that.
Come
The
on.
thing is, you're better off to fail
Yeah.
because it will prepare you for the next time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's if you don't try it, and you have to fail in everything we do.
This
Nah,
is-
yeah.
We fail constantly.
Listen, this is what I say constantly. Like the whole thing around mistakes in this world, we've been it's been told to us wrongly, man. Mistakes are needed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mistakes are needed, so that narrative needs to change mentally. But
100%.
yeah, man.
So you got the you. So wait, did you win the playoff final?
No,
No,
we
they
lost.
lost it.
So
You
we
lost.
lost the playoff final. And then the following season, me and the manager kind of, I don't know, it was weird. Our relationship just kind of deteriorated.
He was the manager at that time.
Terry Brown.
Okay.
Okay. That name sounds familiar as well.
I think he's back. I think he's back at Aldershot in some capacity still,
Okay.
but like in the boardroom maybe.
Okay.
Really good guy. Really good guy. But at that period, we just kind of
Clash.
like he wasn't playing me.
Oh, okay.
And it was in the thing is, I'd gone and then I started playing for England C. It was in the papers that like I might be going Reading or QPR and this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden, I'm not playing.
How old are
It's
you at
like-
this point, by the way?
I'm like, so I went there from I think 18, so 19/20,
Oh, wow.
and I'm not playing, and I'm like, so yeah. In the end, he came to me and said, look, I think Grays wanna sign you. I think it's best that you go there. And it was back closer to home anyway.
Yeah. He's still in East London here, yeah?
Yeah.
Still in
And is
Bethnal
this
Green.
Grays are what league are Grays in?
So Grays are doing exactly what Aldershot had done when I joined them. So they're in the league below.
They're
but
coming
they're
up.
coming up. They're running away with the league, with the Ryman Prem.
Yeah, because there was no Conference South. There,
No.
It was just
There was none
Ryman
of that.
Prem.
It's Ryman
States
Prem,
Conference Prem.
then Conference.
Okay.
So they're running away with that. And when I say they've got a team, like I didn't realize it at the time, but I was just like, yeah, look, I'm coming from one of the top teams in the conference. I'm going to go to Grays. I'll play every week. I'm back closer to home.
Is the money good?
And the money was the same.
Oh, they've matched the
was
money.
same.
Oh, that's perfect. Hey, you
I was
can't,
like,
you
yeah,
can't
cool.
lose.
So I went there. When I tell you, I couldn't believe, number one, I couldn't believe how good they were and how good the players were. And I couldn't get in the team.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, it wasn't
Like-
walking, yeah.
I went there and it just wasn't clicking for me. Like in terms of the facilities, like you're saying before, like the facilities were dire.
Okay.
You know, the pitches that we were playing on, it was just like we was training at a leisure centre. And the pitch was just terrible. The cones, it's like it's not a pack of cones. It's
Yeah.
just all random colours
Random.
and whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like the balls are just random balls. Honestly,
I
it was,
got a thing
Oh,
for that.
yeah,
I've told you about that.
yeah,
yeah,
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you
I've
know,
got a
he
thing
went,
for
he
that.
went to training with somebody one time and he didn't go back because they had all different balls. I'm like, come on. He's
honestly,
like,
do
nah.
you know what? Little things like that. Like as a coach, and the coaching side of me,
Yeah,
I'm very anal about those things.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
the
you have to
bibs-
be.
The bibs, lay the bibs out properly,
Yeah.
and they all the same color, the
Yeah.
same bib.
Yeah.
Cones. If you're setting out a session, that section, if that's red, they're all red.
Yeah,
same red.
Bro,
Yeah.
thank
That's
you.
them cones are white. Like
Yeah, attention
sure
to
the things
detail.
are clean.
Yeah, it's
And-
important, yeah.
even the coaches that I've worked under have all been the same.
Yeah.
Like with the balls, make sure all the balls are clean.
Yeah,
Like we're training and all the balls are dirty.
yeah.
But anyway, so I'm at Grays now, but the dressing room's ridiculous. We have Mitchell Cole, God rest his soul,
He was left-footed, didn't it?
left-footed.
Yeah, I heard about him.
rapid.
Yeah.
He died,
Rapid,
didn't he?
yeah, he passed away in a heart
R.I.P.
condition.
Yeah.
Mitchell Cole, Dennis Ollie, one of the best players I've ever played with.
What position was he?
He was like a striker / winger.
Okay.
Incredible. Should have played at the high, whatever level I play at.
Yeah.
He should have played higher. He was ridiculous. Where Stuart Thurgood was ridiculous. Gary Hooper was only a kid, but was like a man.
Yeah.
We had Michael at the time. Kites and Pooley weren't there at the time. They came a little bit later. But they just had so many good players
Mm.
that at first I couldn't get in the team. Once I'd settled and finally got in the team, our team we should have won the conference
Okay.
without a shadow, because we were far too good and had far too many good players to not win it. But we ended up blowing it. Accrington ended up winning the league.
So what did you finish? Runners up?
No, we ended up in the playoffs, and then we blew it in the playoffs against Halifax.
Oh, mate.
But yeah, you look at that team, and so many of them players went on to go and like Kites was probably the best.
Okay.
Michael Kyson.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
probably went on and had actually him or Gary Hooper went on and had the best careers. Because Hoops went on and played
yeah.
Champions League.
Yeah, yeah.
Kites went on and played loads of Premier League games and whatever. So yeah,
You
that was brilliant.
You touched upon something that you were saying there, and it's something I saw as well. England C. Now I'll be honest, I didn't know there was an England C. Who played with you in England C, and what was that like?
So England C was brilliant. Like you was looked after.
Okay.
Like you're in the national team.
Yeah.
It in terms of all your kit, your tracksuits and hotels, everything was as if you was playing in the Premier League.
Okay.
The way that you was looked after.
Yeah.
And yeah, I played with like Gary Roberts, who went and played for Ipswich. A guy called Ian Craney. It's basically under 23s that was outside of the Football League. All the best under 23s.
I feel like it's like a window as well for like
100%.
Yeah, for like
if you
clubs to
play
look
in that, there's a good chance that because all the clubs will go and look because you're the best talent outside of the Football League.
Got you. Okay.
How many appearances did you make for them?
5.
Okay.
So
5
I played.
caps, yeah.
I played 5 times for them before I then moved back into the Football League, and it was brilliant. I don't think I did as well as I probably should have.
Okay.
Like when I look back, I think you could probably say that in most games.
Yeah.
But I look and I think, I could have probably done a bit better.
My question is, who are your opponents though in the England?
But we was playing against like we played against Italy, and Italy, that was their Olympic team.
Okay.
Because they don't, where we have the under 23s and it's the best from the National League, they have under 21s.
Okay.
And that's their Olympic team. So some of them players are playing for Inter.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
their setup's not the same as ours.
Yeah.
So when we're playing those teams, they're
them on the
ballers.
levels, them on the levels.
And it makes sense as well. To play Olympics, you have to be under a certain age as well, isn't it? So that makes sense.
So theirs is their under 21s.
Okay, yeah.
So those games were against ballers. And then you'd play against like Scotland, Wales, Ireland. So those ones were similar setup to us.
Okay, yeah. So they're like the B or C team for them. Okay.
Yeah.
So playing for England C, did it restrict your ability to play for any other national team?
No.
No, it's like a call up. You get called up, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would. If I wanted to then go on in a professional game and go and play for someone else, then it wouldn't stop me from.
They don't do that anymore.
They do England C still.
Are they still there?
Yeah, they still do it.
But COVID stopped it for a bit. But I think, they do.
And I don't think. Listen, I don't think that they get the level of
Did you say respect?
publicity, and
coverage,
respect and the coverage that they deserve and need.
Yeah.
You know, listen, at TNT we cover all the National League, and do some of the National League North and South. TNT is the only one that does it. No one else. Do you know what I mean? Nobody else does that.
Yeah.
So I think it needs something like that, or a network to pick it up and help, because there's so many players that are playing in the Football League, that are even playing in the Premier League, that have started there, and played in those teams, and it gives the real fans a chance to see the best talent at that level, the best talent outside of the Football League that are gonna eventually make their way into the Football League. So it does need that, but at the moment they don't have that.
And you know, that's a great segue, because I kind of want to delve into where you're at mentally in terms of, okay, so you're at Grays now. Is what are you thinking in terms of where you want to take it, and your ability to take it there? What are you thinking?
Once I was at Grays and I'm doing well now. Now I'm desperate to get in the football.
Okay.
Like I've now signed with an agent, Curtis Dawes at Kudos, and I'm onto him constantly.
Okay. Get me a club.
I want to go. I want to go.
Are Grays part-time these times, or?
Grays were full-time.
Okay.
So before I went to Grays, I could have gone to Canvey Island, who were paying like stupid.
I
at the
heard
time.
about
They were
this.
paying like 3 times.
Yeah,
3
yeah,
times
yeah.
what I was,
I heard they
what
had
I was on.
loads of money.
But they were part-time. So I could have gone there, and it was Jeff Minton. Jeff Minton, who I'd played with at Leyton Orient. He was at Canvey at the time, and he's picking up stupid money.
Mm.
And they want him to sign me, and he said, look, if you want to come and just take the money for a couple of years,
Come.
cool.
Yeah.
But if you actually want to make a career, go to Grays. Stay full-time, go to Grays, and you've got a good chance of making a career. And that was some of the best advice I ever got, because that made up my mind. It was like, this is what I want to do. So instead of going and picking up
stupid money,
3 times my money for a couple of years, and then at the end of it, I've not improved at all.
Yeah.
And I'm have to now scratch around to try and find a club at that level.
Yeah. Credit to you though. Credit to you.
That's a big credit.
A lot of people from what we call ends. Look how girls like, girls thinking, what would I have done?
Boy, show me the money. No, I'm talking about. No,
the thing is, the maddest thing is that, like, I didn't even realize, you don't realize that you're making such big decisions at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
You don't. You just went with instinct. Just like, this is what I want to do. Yeah.
I want to play football. And okay, I want to stay full time. I don't want to go part time and just train on a Tuesday and a Thursday night over at Canvey. I would rather train every day and try and improve.
What was it like? Because when you've gone into Grays and you're not playing, but you're training every day, you're not playing, like, then you're thinking, are you thinking, I should just went Canvey and picked up the money? Or are you thinking, let me just keep training?
I'm just thinking, I'm thinking, I know that I'm better than what I'm showing.
Yeah. It's going to click. Like, it's going to click.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the manager, like, Stimo was unbelievable.
Oh, is it? Stimo?
Stimo, honestly, when I can't speak highly enough of that guy.
Yeah. I've had a few convos with him. I really like that guy.
He was so, so good. So even when, at the beginning, when I was playing well, but I weren't scoring. And he was so good at making sure that if you're in the team, if you're out of the team, we'd always rotate and whatever. And he just kept you. At no point did I ever think, I want to leave.
Yeah,
it
kept you
in
in the moment. Yeah.
He's
someone that I really rate because he's someone that doesn't complicate football. Like, he's just very, like, for me as a winger, he would be like, to me, for example, he's like, look, my wingers, when we've had conversations anyways, look, you cross the ball in the box and you get back stick.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I want.
Yeah.
Like, just, you know what I mean? Where some gaffers, they try and complicate it and do this whole Pep Guardiola thing. I don't know, but he's just simple.
He improved all of us.
Okay.
All of us. When we went there, like, Kurtz had been released from Southend. He came to Grays and the improvement in him was ridiculous. Glenn Paul came. You saw constant improvement. And as individuals, we improved, but as a team, we were well drilled. We knew exactly what we were doing. It's I think he's won the FA Trophy something like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, he win it with Hornchurch.
Yeah. Like, he's just, I can't believe he hasn't managed
higher.
Yeah.
Like, he went into the Football League, I think, with Stevenage or Gillingham. But yeah, he's a very good manager. He's probably maybe a little bit too loud for some, in terms of the old school ways.
Yeah.
But brilliant manager.
Yeah. And you know what I'm picking up from you, from what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've got quite a sturdy head on you. I think for someone so young, you know what I'm saying, it could have gone a different way. So I guess my question there is, how involved were parents in your footballing journey, even from a young age? And
where's my mum? My dad wasn't around. And I had 2 brothers and a sister, one older brother, a younger brother and a sister, and my mum. And my mum never pressured me into football or anything. She never forced us to do anything. It was always whatever it is that you want to do, as long as you do it and give it everything.
Yeah. No
issues.
Okay.
But my mum led by example. Like, growing up, we'd go to school we'd come home. Like my mum, she worked in Asda, just on the checkouts. So she'd work all day, she'd come home, and then she'd study all night. She'd do night
Okay.
school.
Wow.
And she'd study all night. And we'd go to bed.
Yeah.
We'd wake up in the morning and she'd be sat at the computer still.
Wow.
And then she'd get us ready for school. We'd go to school, she'd go to work, and repeat.
Yeah. This is it.
So that's been ingrained in me.
Yeah.
In that.
That's all you've seen.
Yeah.
That's ingrained in me. In that, if you want something, and she always said, because when you get older and you go and you have your own families, I don't want to, and no disrespect to people that work in Asda, but she wanted to have a career.
Yeah.
She wanted, like, what she wanted was to be a teacher.
Yeah.
She wanted to be a lecturer. So at the age that she was at, with 4 kids on her own, she had to do it.
That's what
The
she
whole-
needed to do.
It was
Yeah,
like
she had
at
to-
that
yeah,
period,
yeah.
what do I need to do? I need to go to night school. I need to study. I need to get these qualifications
Mm.
and keep studying and studying and studying until I've got the qualifications to go and get the job that I want to get. So that when my kids are older, I've got a career.
Yeah.
Massive.
And she did it.
That's big.
Hey, that's the
That's
message to parents out there, man. Because I know there's a lot of parents, and like, listen, I was raised in a generation where my mum said, "Look, go and read your book." And so, but I've always said, when you go and read with them, or when you are reading the book themselves, and that's what they're seeing, it's so much more powerful than just saying it. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Leading by example. That's amazing. So is it what heritage is it?
My mum's St. Lucia.
St. Lucian. Okay.
Yeah, my dad's side's from Jamaica. My mum's side's from St. Lucia.
Was it international career? Was that ever in the works? Is that something you ever wanted? Is that?
I was going to go and play for Jamaica. So this was, I think at the time, the Jamaican FA they weren't moving things along.
No organisation.
Nah.
Okay.
In terms of mobilising.
Your E's buzzing off this, by the way. You don't
Don't
understand.
get me
Yeah,
started.
and
man.
it's a shame because I look back now and I think I would have loved to.
Yeah.
But it was for the Gold Cup. So when I was going to go and play, I needed to get my grandparents' death certificates, which, again, that was always going to be a little bit difficult anyway because I didn't really have a relationship with my dad.
Okay.
And it was my dad's side.
Yeah.
So that was always difficult. But then once it was time for the Jamaican FA to do what they needed to do, wasn't done in time. So I wasn't registered in time to be able to play in the Gold Cup.
Okay.
So then from there, I was just like,
What club was you at this time?
I was at Hull.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah. So that time I'm at Hull. And it was a shame. In fairness, I'd speak, like some of my boys were playing for Jamaica at the
I
time.
was just about to ask, is that the era of like Marlon King and that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of the boys, and they were like, listen, trust me, what life's like for you at club level, you're coming. It's not.
Oh, so you're not
It's-
missing
it's-
too much.
it-
of
It's like
okay.
we come in. Like,
It's a Grays thing, like the Grays, like the
it's-
training
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the code's different than that.
It's not the professionalism isn't there. Whereas now,
Yeah, it's top.
Totally
Yeah, it's top. You can see it.
totally
You
They're
see
in
it,
the- they're
yeah.
in the right direction.
but they needed to make that transition.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because for far too long, because it's not done properly, people are going there to just think, oh, do you know what? I'm getting
Yeah.
getting
it's a bit of sunshine,
a
isn't it?
call up for Jamaica and just go and we go and party.
Yeah, a bit of
You know what I mean?
sunshine.
It's
Yeah,
a free holiday,
Bit of
Yeah,
holiday.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
something
how
looking
it was
at.
looked at.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Now it's not looked at like that, which is good, and hopefully they can progress and start to make some major tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That must have been frustrating though, to miss out on something that ain't really your fault.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
it's
the
not your
thing.
fault. It's
Yeah, that's-
something
100
that
The thing is, I should have been called up long before. Long before I actually got called up. I should have been called up.
Mm.
Even when I was at Peterborough. Like
Yeah.
I was ripping it at Peterborough.
Yeah.
we
But
know.
I didn't get a call up. So
And you must have been scratching your head thinking, what's going on?
yeah. And like my agent would contact them. And again, I think it was just a case of they didn't have the right people in the right places
Okay.
to be on top of things.
Yeah.
So now you're seeing players who play in Jamaica who a lad from Portsmouth or
Yeah.
different clubs that are lower down the divisions.
Yeah.
But even if I'm scoring 33 goals in League Two,
Yeah.
I should be
You should be getting the
high
ball
five,
up.
Like, that's a given,
because
isn't it?
the chances are,
Someone's not doing their job.
yeah, someone's not doing their job.
Yeah.
Because the chances are, if he's ripping it at that level, eventually in a year or 2 years, he's going to be playing in League One or in the Championship.
Yeah.
You want him in.
You,
want him in
that's the
system.
sort of players you want in that team.
100%.
And that's probably why they didn't do. Well, they made one World Cup, what, 98?
Yeah, reggae boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
that's
Yeah.
and listen, I think that's something that obviously the Jamaican FA looked at. And
They had to
It's corrected, yeah.
They had to address
But it's
it.
just annoying that it didn't happen for you
Mm.
at that time.
that's life.
So you mentioned a few times, obviously, about dad not being there.
Mm.
And there's this big thing, funny, like, it's hot in the news now. Idris Elba about the whole knives things, and a lot of it's down to, youth crime and absent fathers, blah, all of that. So there's also this big emphasis on male role models.
Mm.
Is that something you had? Is that something you think you needed? Is that?
Is it something I had? I don't think so. Really? I had within football, I had people that I guess would be classed as role models who I looked up to and would absorb from them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be. Yeah, I think I guess it would be dads of other players.
Okay.
I
Do you know what I
thought
mean?
you was gonna
Yeah,
say that.
Like one of my best friends at the time, one of my best friends from school days, Stephen Harding. His dad was kind of like my dad.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
would just look after me.
Yeah.
When I was a kid at Chelsea, from 10 to 16, Leon Knight's dad, like
Yeah.
Bertie, would be the one that would buy me. He'd buy us kits and buy us trainers, and
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I was always looking at it was always other people's dads that were kind of showing me the way. Because then, like how Bertie was with me. Funny enough, in this last summer, we had a charity game at QPR.
Yeah.
The Kyan Prince
Yeah.
charity
Foundation.
game.
Yeah.
And Bertie was there. And I had to pull him and just explain to him.
Yeah. What he did.
What he did
What
for
he-
you. Yeah.
because
yeah.
He'd never heard me say it before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm 40 years old now.
Yeah.
And to this day, I will never forget the first time he said, look, like after training, come, like I've got something for you in the car. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what? Now bearing in mind, it's my mum on her own. She's got 4 kids.
Yeah.
We didn't have any
You didn't
money.
get much.
Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he took me to the back of the car and he pulled out 2 pairs of shorts, two tops, 2 jumpers, 2 sets of socks, like 2 sets of training kit for me to wear to training.
Wow.
2 pairs of Nike trainers. Like, I'm like,
Wow.
sent me home. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's for you.
man.
Like, don't worry about none. Like,
And bearing
got
in
you.
mind, like, you and his son are vying for the same position. Sort
yeah,
of thing.
but like me and Nighty were boys,
Yeah.
but that's just how Bertie was.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's just how it was.
That's an amazing person.
And it wasn't just with me. It was
Yeah.
with Ryan Kent as well.
Yeah.
It was with some of the other lads who were probably exactly the same as me. I don't know their stories. I don't know
Yeah.
what, but that's how Bertie was.
Yeah.
Big
He
up
looked-
Bertie, man.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
up
yeah.
Bertie.
Oh,
Big
listen,
up Bertie
all day,
and people
all
like
day.
Bertie, man.
Yeah.
And again, like I say, my friend Steve, his dad was anything I needed. He was there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just looked after me like as if I was his son. So I guess that's would be the role models that I looked at
Yeah. So
in
you
terms of father figures.
Yeah. So you say necessarily you didn't feel that void.
Yeah, no, not really. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think to this day, I'm still damaged.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still. If we was to sit here now and have and delve into my relationship with my dad and this, that, and the other,
Yeah.
like it would be tough.
Okay.
Yeah,
It would be tough for me to get through.
I get
Yeah.
you.
Do
I
you know
get
what I mean?
you.
Like,
Yeah.
I know I'm damaged from it,
Yeah.
but I've been able to not necessarily talk about it that much.
Yeah.
And I'm at an age where I'm like, I don't hold no grudges
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
peace-
I'm
peace
laid
with it.
back. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Probably
yeah.
too laid back at times.
yeah.
But I'm cool. Like I know that, right? Do you know what? There's certain things that have happened to me, never gonna happen to my daughter.
Yeah, 100%.
Never ever.
100%.
That's
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the
So
blessing.
Yeah.
and it goes back to what we were saying before. Like when things happen, you learn from it.
Yeah.
You have to go through these certain things.
Yeah.
Whatever the cards you're dealt, go through it and
Yeah.
learn from it and come out the other side.
And it'll come out
Better
stronger.
for
on the
us.
It's
side,
a penalty,
100%,
bro.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna look at
It's
it.
a
Man. It's a
penalty.
penalty. That's how it is.
You
It's
have
a
to put
penalty.
yourself up for it. That's something you can relate to as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dad-
Similar, yeah. Similar
dad
sort of
dynamic.
thing. Yeah, like with dad sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like not always sort of seeing eye to eye, maybe being a bit damaged if I'm honest myself.
Yeah.
But it's one of them like similar to you. I became at peace with it.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and then it was kind of easier to relate to certain
So,
things.
so you think, as in becoming a man yourself, you kind of
You
see
can,
things
yeah. I
a
kind
bit
of, I
differently?
kind of saw things. For me, obviously, I don't know. Your situation might be different, but I got to a stage where it was like, I don't hold any grudges now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, I'm just. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And then I think, well, me and my dad reconnected.
Mhm.
So then it became like, like we're cool. Like,
Yeah.
now it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And the thing is, I'm not against that.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't happened. I'm not against it.
Would you try
It's-
to make it
Do
happen?
you know what?
Is
Me
that-
and my sister have spoken about it. Funny enough, we've all had a chat about it. And I think me and my sister are probably the most open to it
Okay.
than the other two. Me and my sister are very similar. My two brothers are very similar.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're quite chill. Them two are quite fiery.
Fiery, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And listen, everyone for their own reasons. You have to respect everyone's whatever their reasons for and against.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that it would never happen. I hope one day it does.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I ever want is for the next time we see each other is at.
Like
We've seen each other,
funeral or
but it's at
whatever.
funnels.
Yeah.
We see each other at funerals.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that.
Like
yeah,
it shouldn't.
yeah.
It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
Do you know
it
what I mean?
shouldn't be
And
that.
that's. Listen, I think in life you always you want to try and live your life as much as possible without regrets.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a regret
100%.
because we've got time to do it now.
Yeah,
100%.
But-
100%.
The actual doing it it's easier said than done. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And you know, I don't know the dynamic, but he could be somewhere watching TNT thinking,
That's my son.
I'm proud of
Listen,
this.
listen.
Yeah.
I know that throughout my career, and obviously now being so visible on TV, it's impossible to not see me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree with
Do
that.
you know what I mean? And it's impossible for people to not be like, son on TV.
Okay, yeah. So he's hearing about it. It's
Was that a bit of motivation for you though as well? Like,
good
well,
question.
Oh, 100%.
I'm gonna
Good
I'm just gonna do this
100,
like and show you,
100%.
yeah.
Like I think for all of us, like me and my older brother, we'd had plenty of conversations about it as we got older. And my brother was obviously doing the singing, and I was playing football. So we are both very much in the
Probably.
I wouldn't say, in the public eye. So, and people would always come up to us and like who knew our dad
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
and be like, oh yeah, like how's your dad doing? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. Just
You know what I mean?
it's
Just
long
play
to go
along.
through the.
I
Yeah,
ain't
I
going
get
through
it.
the story with you. I don't know you, but you know my dad, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go through the story.
And you know the worst thing is, you know that they're gonna run back and tell him anyways. So that's why it's funny. Yeah.
So we'd always have that conversation. But I think it's one of them that one day, I'm sure one day someone will take that leap, whether it's
Yeah.
from his side or from us.
Yeah.
Someone someone has to break through the mold. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
100%,
In order
yeah.
to get the ball rolling. And I think it's probably going to be my sister, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
she's probably the smartest. Like she's now a teacher. She's followed in my mum's footsteps. So she's now a teacher, but she's flying. She's like
Okay.
clear.
Yeah.
And she's the most level-headed. She's the
Okay.
one that
Okay.
thinks about everything,
Yeah.
that wants to always make sure that you repair any damaged relationships and things like that. So
Yeah.
Every family's got one of them, innit?
I think every family needs one of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
Black
do.
Shadow.
They're the ones
Black
that
Shadow.
piece it
Yeah.
all together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny. Okay, so I was going to touch upon this as well. You touched upon your brother. Now, I need to rewind. I'm wondering if you were born, Kill. I can't lie. But this is rewind 2000 and I'll say about 2007, 2008.
How dare you? I was
Okay,
definitely born.
I'm gonna mention something. Let's see if you know about it. You ever heard of MTV Base?
Yes.
I don't lie.
I have on Sky.
For the fact you're even trying to verify that.
Yeah,
You know.
MTV Base.
Okay, but yeah, so but I'm obviously a younger buck now, and I switch on MTV Base, and I see this artist, McClean,
Yeah.
and he's singing this song Broken. I'm like, do you know what it is? I think you have to understand. At that time, there wasn't too many like young black male R&B singers as well.
Okay.
And he had a voice on him as well. So I'm thinking, what's going on here? And I paid a lot of attention to it. In fact, for a long time, I actually mistook him for you. I actually thought, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know the amount of people that... Bearing in mind, I'd be at a football game and fans would come up to me and be like, "Oh, I heard your new song."
That's what I'm saying,
and
yeah.
I'm like, "Nah, it's not me. It's my brother." Or people would come up to me and be like, "Which one are you? Are you the singer or are you the footballer?" Like,
yeah. Do you know what it was for me? I couldn't fathom that. Hold on, there's one family and then you got a fool that and how talented can that family be? I couldn't. I was like, yeah, it must be
Very
the same
talented.
person. Do you know what I'm saying? But it was just that was obviously the first time I got I caught wind of the name McClean. You know what I'm
Is that
saying?
your older brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but just mad talented, man. Mad talented.
Crazy talented.
But I got the impression music is something that runs in the family.
Yeah. So my dad was a singer, a reggae singer. He's had, again, people of the older generation know my dad from, he's had he's had multiple number ones.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean? He was always touring, and I think even to this day, he still goes out and does tours and whatever.
Yeah.
I was at an award ceremony a few months back, and one of the artists came up to me afterwards and was like, just wanted to say hi. I used to sing with your dad when the Lovers Rock back in the day and blah, blah, blah. You have to thank him for me. And I'm like, bro, so many people from the older generation will, if you don't know his name, if you don't know him as my dad, if you heard some of his songs, you'd be like, oh
that's
God,
my man. Yeah, that's his
okay.
dad.
Do you know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay.
So I've got friends who their parents all used to listen to his songs and that. So my dad was a singer, his brothers, my mum can sing. My mum, even to this day, she sings in her church choir.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? She goes to church every week.
Yeah.
And she sings in the choir. So vocals has always been in my family.
It's always been a
but
thing.
somehow skipped me.
That was my next question. You know?
Wait, hold on. You know what I'm gonna say.
I
we're
know.
saying skip.
Do you know what? Let me just say before he says it, I know he's gonna say it.
Yeah.
He's gonna ask you what songs have fans sang for you.
Oh, do you know? I'm gonna get to that. I am gonna get to that, but I'm gonna ask something more specific. And I told you I was gonna ask this. So you say vocals skipped you, but what was it on Instagram? Post a random picture. And then the random picture I saw, you're saying vocals skipped you. So the random picture I saw is you in what looked like some sort of house party or venue or rave settings maybe, and you've got mic in hand.
Right.
Yeah?
So that I'm not singing. Let's make that clear. But back in the day, we used to do MCing.
Okay, vocals is vocals. Yeah.
Nah, it's different. It's different. We used to do MCing. And we'd go to house parties, and there used to be this one thing in Ilford that we used to go to. And it was kind of like a youth club kind of thing, but
okay.
Anyway, my brother was sick. Like he was sick at MCing.
Yeah.
He used to MC and sing.
Are we talking about garage or grime?
Garage.
Garage.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Garage.
Okay.
This is garage times. So he used to sing and MC. I used to just MC because I wanted to be like my brother.
What was the name? What was the MC name?
So my brother's name was Digger. That's when he first started. He went under Digger and I went under Melody. I don't know why. I don't know why. You know when you like
Melody. Yeah.
So then I'd write lyrics that with you know what the garage MC is like,
Yeah,
anyway.
100%.
And me and my brother had a
Outside,
few.
all of that.
Yeah, me and my brother had a few like lyrics where it would be about like we'd both
On
be
the
in-
back-to-back
Yeah,
thing,
yeah. It was sick.
Okay,
Mash up the
man.
parties,
It was
man.
mad.
Back to back. You don't
So
know.
Lockdown.
You know, I saw the telling thing about that picture is you got someone behind you, hand on shoulder. That means you're doing a good job. That means
So
you're shelling, as we
I
say.
can MC.
Okay,
I can
yeah, I
MC.
can tell, yeah.
So this is my problem, and anyone that knows me will tell you, like, once I go out and I have a drink, if you put garage on, I'm grabbing a mic.
Yeah.
I'm getting on the mic. Like, and I'm gonna spit the
You're
same
gonna
bars
spit
that
the
I've
same
been
bars.
spitting for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
But it's just, do you know what I mean? It's just good fun.
Are you getting a wheel up?
All day long.
Oh, yeah, I have to
because
get
no
a
one
wheel
does
up,
it
man.
no more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna say, right, put on an old school garage track that people ain't heard for years and whatever. And then I'm gonna start MCing on it. And I'm okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But you know, I think it's a thing. I was at AJ party.
Mm.
Boxer AJ. Did the same thing. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
just
Like,
good
fun.
got on
Just
the
good
mic.
fun.
And I think it's a thing, man. I think it's a lost art, man.
100%.
Because I'm from the garage era as well. I used to MC grime. It's a lost art, man. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So,
Like Miles Weston, a couple of years ago, had his
Oh,
birthday party.
Big him up, Westy. Yeah.
Westy had his party. And me and Westy got on the mic, just started going back to back. Like it was,
Yeah.
and Dicko.
Oh,
Dicko jumped on.
yeah.
Honestly, it was, when I say
Big him up as
incredible.
well.
yeah.
Incredible
big up this,
night.
man. Yeah.
Because it was almost like a throwback night.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
so like
yeah.
what it was like when you were back in the day.
Yeah,
This is
man.
we're all getting old now, so we can't go and rave the way that you used to. But
Yeah,
for that one night,
you touch
you can
mic,
just-
you do your thing.
you roll
man.
back the years, man.
Nah, that's amazing, man. All right, yeah, no, all right, let's slightly get back to football. So where were we? So
Grays.
Grays.
Where was your next move from Grays?
So my next move was Peterborough. Now,
That's this, yeah?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
So Peterborough was, when I say way more than I could have expected, way more, and I say that because I just was desperate to get back in the football league. I was prepared to go anyway. I could have gone to Accrington this summer before I'd gone, because I ended up going to Peterborough like in the transfer window,
Okay.
like January transfer window. But in the summer I could have gone to Accrington. My agent was like, "No, you're not." Like they're probably gonna come back down. Like they were
Okay.
near the bottom of League Two.
They're desperate. They need a sign.
yeah,
And they need, yeah.
They weren't a team that was looking to kick on. But I was just desperate to go. Then Peterborough came in, and Peterborough at the time, Darren McCanty had just taken over,
Okay.
and he wanted me to be his first signing.
Okay.
So his plan was he's going to sign all the best young players from non-league football, and they're going to go and just go bang, and just start jumping the leagues.
Okay.
Was this like was they doing this before, or was this the first
This
time
was
they
the
signed
first
him?
time.
Oh, okay,
So he's
okay.
just come in now.
Yeah.
He's only just come in.
So you've
I'm
paved
the
the wave.
first. I'm the first one.
Okay.
I'm the first signing. Now I'm thinking, when I went down, I met him, met Barry Fry, and he's telling me all of this, and I'm thinking to myself, this don't even sound realistic. Like you think you're just gonna go and get back-to-back promotion, end up in the championship, but then he had this 5-year plan.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that doesn't happen in football. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at the Peterborough team, and I'm thinking, you're an average League Two team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me that in a couple of years we're going to be in the championship,
Yeah.
and like in 3-4 years we're going to be in the championship. pushing on to get in the Premier League. So it didn't sound realistic, but they convinced me because it was a step up from where I was,
You was desperate to get in the league.
desperate to get in the league, and they were paying 100. Grays had already taken the money, paying 150 grand for me. Like Grays paid 5 grand to order for me.
Wow.
They were selling me for 150 grand, which was
Wow.
Grays
Yeah.
must have slapped that.
Yeah,
Think
they-
about
they-
new
they
cones
kick you out the
now.
door,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bibs ain't got holes in
You
no
changed
wall.
the-
Man.
You changed everything now, boy.
And so 150 grand at the time is a stupid amount of money for a
Yeah.
non-league player.
Definitely.
So I go there. We then signed George Boyd for 260 grand from Stevenage.
Wow.
We signed Mikel Smith from Dagenham. Mikel doesn't want to come because Sunderland want him, but he ends up coming in the end. We signed Shane Blackett from Dagenham. We signed about 6 or 7 non-league players,
All young, hungry.
all young, hungry players.
How old are you at this point?
So I'm 23.
Okay.
23 now. And we all go in and we sign a couple of lads that have been released from bigger clubs. So Charlie Lee had been released from Tottenham. Signed Micah Hyde, who was
I know him as well.
coming to the end of his career,
Yeah.
but been there, done it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
That
was
experience, yeah.
he was a boss.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he was just the leader in the dressing room.
Yeah.
So we put all that together and Darren Ferguson had come in. And when I say we went from being, Peterborough went from being that average League 2 team to just popping everyone.
Did it take time to gel or was it instant?
I'd say from when Darren Ferguson came in, it was near on instant.
So wait, can I ask,
Okay.
you know Darren Fer- is that Sir Alex's son, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
bro.
That's
So
fair enough.
he came in,
I said
he
so.
came in because Keith Alexander, God rest his soul. I don't think Keith Alexander wanted me,
Okay.
but Dara had a vision of what he was doing with the club.
Yeah.
And he was like, right, I'm signing him, him. So then when it came time for, he got rid of Keith Alexander, brought Darren Ferguson. Now Darren was meant to come in as a player coach, player manager. Never played a game. He
Okay.
came in, managed the first day and was like, I can't play. I need to be focused on
on
managing.
managing, yeah.
And just transform the club. The club went from being, you turn up to training. If training's at 10 o'clock, got lads jumping out their cars at 10 past 10 in their training kit, just running onto the training pitch.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden, no. If you're starting training at 10, you're in at 8:30. You eat.
Yeah.
You then go. We didn't have a training ground like where we could get changed. So we had to get changed at the stadium, then jump in our cars, drive to the training ground, train, then go back to the stadium to shower. So that wasn't ideal. And that was something that he was working on changing because we needed to be able to shower, eat, or do everything in
In the,
Yeah.
in the
in
same
one
in
place.
that
But
environment.
they
yeah.
didn't have that at the time. So we made it work, but we'd come in early, we'd all eat at the stadium, we'd then travel over to the training ground, we'd travel back, we'd eat. Like he just started to put all the pieces
Yeah.
of the puzzle
Yeah.
together.
Making you like train like real professionals.
Yeah, the training was top training.
Yeah.
And the detail that he gave you without overwhelming you, he made sure that you understood what your role was in the team
Yeah.
and made sure that we could get Boydie the ball.
Okay.
Because Boydie
was
was,
that a tactic? Yeah, get Boydie the ball.
listen, Boydie was, if Boydie was quicker, if Boydie was a couple of yards quicker, like the career he would have had is
Yeah.
insane.
You said he would have been Prem.
Yeah.
He played Prem.
Okay.
Like, played
yeah,
Prem for
George
years.
Boyd, yeah.
But the career he would have had with a couple of yards
We're talking
more
about,
pace.
Yeah, we're talking about international kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he played for Scotland.
Yeah.
He played for Hull in the
What
Prem. He
position
played
was
for
he playing?
Burnley. He was like left side.
Left side of the centre.
But he was just, they call him the White Pele.
Okay.
Okay.
Call him the White Pele. Honestly, just such a baller.
So you're saying a lot of the assists came from him. Like a lot of your assists, a lot of your goals came from him.
A good amount. We had, to be fair, we had good players.
Yeah.
We had like Tommy Williams, who was our left wing back, flying machine.
Yeah.
Delivery on point. We had Grant McCann. They're all left footers.
Okay.
It's the left footers.
Yeah.
Honestly,
There's
the lefties,
something
The
about
ones.
lefties,
the lefties that I played with in my time at Peterborough were ridiculous.
Yeah.
And myself and Craig, our partnership was just, we just knew what each other were going to do. We both worked harder than anyone.
Yeah.
And we just knew that we could just run all over teams. Every single week, it's like, we just knew.
Yeah.
We just knew.
When you have that though, you know.
Back when they were playing two up top from more often, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So and
you had Heidi in the middle as well, yeah?
Heidi in there,
Yeah.
And Darren was very tactically clever. Like, we started playing a diamond, which no other teams were playing a diamond.
Yeah.
But he had Boydie at the top of the diamond, and then he'd have like Grant McCann, and we had like Lee Frecklinton or Lee Tomlin playing off Tommy Rowe, playing off the sides. We had like wing back. Honestly, he just managed to be able to bring the right players in.
Yeah. For what he wanted.
And then we ended up going, and we should have won League 2, but we got automatic promotion. And then the following season, we get automatic promotion again.
So the plan's kicking in place now.
The plan, honestly,
The plan you didn't believe in.
the plan that I didn't think could happen
Yeah.
was just blossoming.
So very quickly, so Darren Ferguson, obviously he was at Peterborough for such a long time. He left for a short while. I can't remember which club he went to. But
So he went to Preston.
He went to Preston,
Mm.
and he's ended up going back. What do you think that was? Is because they talk about a lot about certain managers become so, their identity becomes ingrained in like one club almost. What do you think that was as to?
Well, I think when he left the first time, they shouldn't have let him go.
Yeah.
So it was a mistake in terms
From the board.
from the chairman. It was a mistake to let him go. But he went to Preston, and what Preston promised him, they didn't.
Okay.
So it didn't quite work at Preston, but it was a no-brainer for him to come back.
Yeah.
Well,
because-
he's a legend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Already.
Like he'd already won 2 promotions with us, so it was a no-brainer for him to come back. And I think this is the 4th time now. I think this is his 4th role.
Fourth
Right.
spell sort of thing.
Spell.
Wow.
Back at
Okay.
But I went to watch him play the other day.
Yeah.
The way they play is,
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah.
it would be beautiful to play in that team.
Yeah. How much do you think he got from his dad? Or did you ever see dad at training? Was he?
You see him, yeah. He'd come down to games. When we played up north, we'd go and train at United's training ground.
That's
Okay.
mental, isn't it? That's
Wow.
mad.
Honestly, it
What's
was-
that like?
Like the first time, I remember the first time we trained up at Carrington, and we're in the middle of training, so I was like, oh, it's like Sir Alex is like Alex Ferguson's over there. Honestly, I think I must have just turned into the worst footballer.
Well, legs jelly. Yeah.
I don't know what I just got, like,
He's got that presence, isn't it? He's got that
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah.
Was he actually watching you?
Yeah,
Like,
he just came over and just was watching us and said hi, but never got involved. And Darren was and has always been very much. I'm not. I want to do everything on my own.
Yeah.
I don't want any handouts.
Yeah.
I want to. Anything I achieve, I want to achieve on my own merit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want
And
my
he
dad.
stood on his own 2 feet. And I think he's had 5 promotions.
Yeah.
Should, without a shadow, should be managing at the very minimum in the championship.
Yeah.
For a big championship. Because he's... I honestly don't get it. I
Mm.
don't know what it is
Yeah.
as to why he hasn't been offered when some of
Yeah.
these big jobs come up. I don't really get what it is.
It's strange, isn't it? Yeah. I was scratching my head as well. I was like,
What was his man management like with you? Like,
Brilliant.
was he brilliant with you? Yeah,
Brilliant man manager. I like even to this day. Like obviously, I've played under him, and I've coached. I was a first team coach whilst he was manager, and his footballing brain and how hard he works, the detail and understanding of different formations and systems and stuff is second to none. It's second to none. Now, like any manager will have certain players that they fall out with and don't get on and whatever.
Yeah.
But I always, I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant when I played for him. I thought he was brilliant when I coached under him, and he taught me so much.
Yeah,
he's very generous with his information and with allowing you to be able to go and express yourself as well.
Yeah. Okay, so you're championship now. Like, bro, this is
it's a long way from grace,
reaching lofty heights. Yeah, so championship. Where's your head at? What are you thinking? Like,
so I think when we got promoted into the championship, I think we was a bit naive in terms of we just had 2 years of just constantly winning.
Yeah,
and the jump from League 2 to League 1 wasn't that big.
Okay.
From League 1 to the championship, wow.
What were the differences?
Just everything. The players were quicker, stronger.
Okay.
Better, better drilled, better players.
Yeah.
Bigger stadiums. Like, I think our first game was Derby away in front of 25,000.
Okay. Yeah.
And Derby's a proper stadium.
Yeah.
Their fans are proper.
Yeah.
Like, and it was an eye opener. And listen, we played some good football because we still played the way that we played, but we didn't have enough. We didn't have enough in terms of our team. Because you have to think, it's one thing bringing all these players from non-league into League 2. But 2 years later, they're playing in the championship.
Yeah.
Not everyone develops quick enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would have needed huge investment to be able to bring in enough players to be able to sustain it. And we ended up getting relegated. Played some lovely football and won some big games, but over the course of a season, we just didn't have enough.
Is there any standout player that you played against in that time? This is me. I love all these football ones.
I think Gutierrez at Newcastle.
Oh, Jonas Gutierrez.
Yeah.
And Andy Carroll.
Okay.
They were. So that's the season when Newcastle had been relegated.
Yeah.
Honestly, the way that Newcastle played, it was just insane. They were like Land of the Giants.
Okay, yeah.
But
I remember that. Ball, long ball up to Carroll, hold it, play off him.
What was he like? Was he quick,
Andy,
strong? Yeah, what was that?
Andy wasn't quick, but he was just so strong.
Yeah.
And some of the goals that he was scoring,
it
was like, they were just smashing balls into him and he just bring it down. Smash it out.
Yeah.
And even the way they passed the ball was like, everyone just wraps everything.
Yeah.
And their first touch is immaculate.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, this is a long way.
The levels, you know.
The levels were just, and they were Premier League players. They should never have been in there.
Yeah. Gutierrez was very, maybe for want of a better word, like awkward style of player, isn't he? He's not your usual technical baller, but very effective. Yeah.
Seriously.
He covered ground. Yeah. He covered ground.
You don't see, sometimes you don't see that on TV when you're seeing these men play.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to get this information.
Yeah.
I think he was Argentinian, I think.
He was Argentinian, yeah.
So when we played them at their place, bear in mind, St. James's, they're flying, they're going to get promoted. So St. James's Park is rocking. And Gutierrez had been away on international duty, so was struggling with an injury. So, and we'd already heard this. They were like, oh yeah, like, I think he's going to play, but he's not 100% fit. So they played him for half a game. He just ripped us for 45 minutes, scored 2 goals and come off.
What was the score in that game?
I think we lost like 4-1.
Okay. Yeah.
But that was their plan. Look, just play for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
And how are you feeling like?
That's my question. My question was like, what's it like coming up against these centre backs? What did you notice the difference was?
Yeah.
When you're playing against these sort of players,
they read the game a lot better.
Yeah.
They were stronger. It wasn't as easy because we were always used to having all of the ball.
Yeah.
And passing teams off the park, and whereas it wasn't as easy to do that. We was, in terms of possession and stuff, we were still decent in that department, but it wasn't as easy to create chances. And even when you get chances, the goalkeepers were better.
Yeah.
So you weren't scoring at the rates that you used to scoring, and you weren't getting as many chances. And we just found that games that were in the balance, we'd just get punished.
Okay.
Because you've got a Billy Sharp who, if you give him a chance, it's in the back of the net.
Yeah.
You've got,
I heard he was so clever.
Clinical player.
So clever.
Clinical.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Peterborough to Hull, right?
So Peterborough to Hull.
How many seasons were you at Peterborough?
So I was at Peterborough for, I think it was 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. So we'd got relegated, and so we're back in League One. So I stayed at Peterborough. Halfway through that season, I'm flying. So Peterborough, we're looking like we're going to get promoted again, back to the Championship. I think I've got like 13 and 17.
Okay.
Something like that. We're flying.
Yeah.
So then Hull come in for me, and it's a no-brainer. The summer before, I'd wanted to go to, when we got the first promotion, Wolves had come in for me, and Peterborough didn't let me go. And at that time, Wolves were in the Championship trying to get into the Premier League. So this time round, when Hull now come in for me, again, Hull are a team that's trying to get into the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I think Peterborough, at that point, we'd had 3 promotions.
Yeah.
They were like, look, it's the time for him to.
No, but also, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 1.3 million.
Yeah, it started off 1.3 initial, and then I think it grew with appearances and promotions.
£1 million player.
This is what I'm trying to say. Now that's a long way from grades.
Listen,
you're now £1 million player.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, when I even now talking about it and whatever, none of this. I never expected any of this.
Yeah.
Like I never expected. Growing up, I wanted to have a career.
Yeah.
I never expected to really have one.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I've never been like. It's hard to find a way to word it without
sounding too.
without sounding
understand.
stupid.
I understand.
But I never felt that I was that good.
I understand. Yeah.
I never felt that I was that good.
Yeah, that's what I said on my last podcast. It's not that. And I didn't even reach it to that thing.
I get it. My main question would be, who was keeping your feet on the ground outside of football? Or do you think that humbleness kind of kept you grounded?
I think my lack of belief in myself, probably is what helped me to stay grounded.
So interesting, though.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because I've said it a number of times. Like, I've never been in a team and been the best player.
Okay.
I've never had that. Yes, I've been at clubs and been highest paid player, or been the one that everyone's talking about. But I've never felt like I'm the best player in this club.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting because, let's be honest, you score the goals. And a lot of people would say, whether other people agree with it or not, that's the hardest thing to do in football. So you saying that deep down, maybe you weren't sure how good you were. That's really interesting. You know what I'm saying?
And don't get me wrong, like, I'd go out onto the pitch and I was confident.
Yeah.
But I was confident because I knew during the week I've done my work.
100%. That's
Oh
where
my
the
God,
confidence
that's
comes
actually
from.
that's actually me, you know.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
that
actually
is.
That's where the
it.
confidence comes from.
It comes from the training.
100%.
I knew I'd done my work. I never had the ability to be able to just coast through training.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, I tried it. I tried it.
But you don't feel as confident in it. You don't. I
Listen,
know exactly what you're going through.
That week, there was actually one game, yeah. Me and my mate Leon Johnson, he's like one of my best friends. And we always talk about it now. And I actually once tried to play like Aguero. Honestly, I in my head, I was like, right, today, I'd watched loads of clips of Aguero and he'd run and then he'd walk around and just like walk into positions and then he'd spring into life and then he'd walk. And I tried to play a game like it. I got dragged off. And I was like, do you know what? What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm not Aguero.
Yeah.
I'm Aaron McClean. I'm more of a Paul Dickoff or someone like that.
Yeah.
Listen, you just work.
Yeah.
Do your work.
100%.
And then at the end of it, hopefully you'll get a few chances and make sure you can put them away.
Yeah.
But why are you in the team? You're in the team because you are going to work.
Yeah.
And you're going to set off the press.
Yeah.
You know, like at the beginning of a game, the first kickoff of any game, especially when I was at Peterborough, my thought process was, I'm gonna win the ball. So you see when they from the centre circle and pass it back to the midfielder, I'll win that ball.
Okay.
So no one else, you're only one player in your team's touching the ball. And that's because he's taking centre.
Yeah, he passed it
I'm winning that pass.
Yeah.
Because it's always a lazy little pass.
Yeah. They don't expect
Because
anyone
the
to
strikers
be going
don't
for that.
normally go
Yeah,
and
exactly.
sprint.
Yeah.
It's just like, you pass it to you pass. No.
Yeah,
From the first ball,
They're in for a game.
I am in.
Yeah.
And I used to win it.
Yeah.
But that's what probably sets you up for the game.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what sets you up.
100%.
But there's
And
a
if
lot
I
in
don't
that
win
as
it,
well.
I'm nailing you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're feeling me. Yeah. 100%.
And then
You won't get a yellow
straight
for
away.
the first one as well. You
Nah.
never get a yellow.
That's important as well. That thing of knowing who you are as a player, knowing your strengths, knowing
knowing
your
your influence on the
knowing
team.
your influence.
I
on the
love
team,
that though, that you touched upon, because I can really relate to that. Is if I ain't done my work during the week, I'm not confident going into the game.
Yeah. 100%.
Like unless I know I've done everything I need to do in the week, then I'm confident. So it's so interesting you say that.
Yeah.
But I think that now relays into what I do now. I now am on TV 2, 3, 4 times a week. And people say to me, oh, like, so is it hard? Like, and I'm like, no, it's not hard, because the amount of prep that I do for each game, that's what gives me confidence.
Yeah.
I can go on, whether it's TNT or Sky Sports or ITV or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can go and do a game. And bearing in mind, I do games from every single level, every single competition.
Yeah.
Teams that I don't even know. I'm doing Europa League games with 2 teams from 2 different countries that I never follow their leagues.
But it's all preparation, isn't it? Yeah.
I put the hours in. I put the hours work in.
That's why you get.
So then when I'm on and something happens, I can talk about it. And I can talk about it with confidence. The same as when you're playing, when a scenario happens or when you find yourself in front of goal and you have to take a touch, that your right side, which is your good side, is blocked off. Yeah. And you have to touch it to your left. Yeah. You feel confident doing it.
Yeah. Because you've
I can
done
touch
it
it to my left.
100 times.
I'm going to zing it.
Yeah.
Because you've done the work.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Mommy McClean, man. Like, let's.
Always.
That's where it comes from, man.
Shout out to Mommy McClean, man.
Man. Definitely.
Okay, Ross. Okay, so you've made the move to Hull. Yeah. Who's in charge at this time?
Nigel Pearson.
Nigel Pearson's in charge at this time.
What players are down there?
So when I went there, the best player, funny enough, it came up today. One of the goals that I'd set him up on this day.
Oh, I saw it actually.
Robert Corrin. Oh,
the volley,
what a player. Honestly.
Was it the volley?
What, Robert Corrin's one?
Yeah, is it outside the box?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
saw
just,
that. Yeah.
honestly, what a player.
Yeah.
But like Jimmy Bullard was there. Unbelievable player.
Yeah. What's the
Unbelievable.
dressing room like? Because he's associated. It's just banter when people wear Jimmy
he's-
Bullard.
I can
Yeah.
imagine. I
He
can
is-
imagine. He's just
24/7.
Yeah.
24/7.
Pranks and
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like I went there and he was having a tough time with the management. They wanted Jimmy out.
Oh, wow.
So I kind of came at the end of Jimmy's time at Hull, which was a shame.
Yeah.
But we had unbelievable set of lads.
Yeah.
Like some unbelievable players. Like Tom Kearney was
Tom Kearney, yeah.
ridiculous.
Fulham, yeah.
He was ridiculous.
Yeah.
We'd signed some of the best players from Man United. So we had Cameron Stewart, who was like lightning quick, could do lollipops like, you know, like do you remember the Nelson?
Yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
the
All of the, yeah. Million at a time. Like,
He had the
yeah.
smoothest lollipop.
Yeah.
Like class. Corey Evans, James Chester,
Yeah.
Joe Dudgeon, Robbie Brady, Josh King.
Wow.
All these lads from United
From United,
all
yeah.
came in.
some feeder club.
And then we had like Liam Messina who'd played.
Oh yeah.
We had Paul McShane who'd played. We had Abdullah Far.
Beast.
We had who's the one? He was from Wolves midfielder.
Wolves midfielder.
Big black guy.
Wasn't from Wolves, yeah.
I'm thinking. I thought it would be like Carl Henry or something, but it's not.
I can't. It's so poor for me.
I remember Carl Henry.
But we just had
Club.
we had some, and then we had like Nobby Solano.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Bro, what a guy, bro. What a player.
Yeah.
We just had. It was such a good group, and they was continuously bringing in good players, and you knew you were at a proper level. You know
Yeah.
what I mean,
Yeah.
Stephen Quinn,
Yeah.
techie.
Yeah. Lefty.
We just had such a good group, and it was a shame. We should have made the playoffs, and we missed out on the playoffs, which ended up costing Nigel Pearson his job, and we had Nicky Barmby at the time as well.
Barmby, yeah.
God, Liverpool
Yeah,
edge.
he must have been a bit older at the time, isn't it? He was getting to the end of his
Yeah,
career.
but he was then looking to go into management, so he
Okay.
ended up being the manager
Oh,
for a
what?
short period.
Oh, before Phil Brown came in.
No, so I'm after Phil Brown.
Okay. I was gonna, because I was wondering with Hull, and obviously Bullard there.
Yeah, everyone thinks that because of that whole.
Yeah.
So I think maybe Nigel Pearson was after Phil Brown.
Directly after. Yeah.
Yeah. So Barnes took over till the end of the season, and then I don't know what happened. He didn't end up getting a job, but then we brought in Steve Bruce.
Okay.
Now, once Brucey comes in, I knew I wasn't Brucey's cup of tea.
What let you know that from early? How?
I could just tell.
Really?
Yeah,
I think you can though. You do. You
Yeah?
do know. You do know.
What? Based on what? Based on how he likes to set up, or based on what?
yeah, like the way we played. Like Matty Fryatt was there, who was an out and out striker. He was
Okay. Hold it up, play.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold it up, link up the play.
Yeah.
I'd played a lot of my time out in the wide areas.
Okay.
And because I spent, bear in mind, I'd always been just a number 9, a striker.
Yeah.
Because I'd now kind of moved positions, my goal return wasn't like as good as Matty's. Do you know what I mean? Matty was like a 1 in 2.
Okay.
And then we've got Robert Corrin, who's one of the best players in the league, let alone in our team.
Yeah.
So, and we're playing one striker with someone behind, and so I'm thinking, I knew that I probably wasn't going to play anywhere near as much as I would have liked to. But I still played a decent amount of games. I played a lot, either right or left.
Yeah.
But I was happy as long as I'm playing.
Yeah. You don't mind.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's life off the pitch like in terms of how active were you in the nightclubs?
Too active.
Oh, seriously?
wow.
Too active. So I moved to Hull, and I moved and lived in Leeds. So Paul McShane lived in Leeds, and he was like, look, there's a penthouse opposite mine.
Yeah.
Bang in the centre of Leeds. And when I wouldn't recommend any young players go and move and get penalties in Leeds. Because Leeds at the time especially, it's not as, I don't think it's as much like that now. But it was every night there was something going on.
There's something going on.
Every night,
Yeah.
the streets were heaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, bearing in mind, we didn't go out every night,
Yeah.
but we're like in the penthouse up the top, and we're looking down, and do you know what I mean? It's just active.
Yeah.
So we went out. We never went out like at the wrong times. Like
Never got a night before a game.
yeah,
It was never that.
nothing like that. But we would go out more than we should.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like if we're off on the Wednesday, Tuesday, straight after training, everyone's coming back to ours.
Okay.
We're getting changed and we're out.
The penthouse was
Yeah.
the spot. Yeah, that was the
Do you know what I mean?
link up.
Like-
So yeah.
If we like, we'd go out on a Saturday night, we're out straight away. Wherever we are, everyone's back to mine, get changed. Everyone can stay at mine. It's no problem. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Nah, that's amazing. And do you think it affected football? Do you think it?
I actually think that it helped.
It does, you
It
know.
helped us with our
Togetherness.
team spirit.
Team
Yeah,
bonding.
togetherness,
Okay,
yeah.
cool, yeah.
I think it helped.
Yeah.
Definitely. Some people probably wouldn't agree, but I think teams that socialize together
Yeah.
generally have a better relationship.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You're bantering
on and
more.
off
You're
the
around
pitch,
each other
yeah,
more.
yeah.
You have each other's back more.
Yeah.
Like your teammate might get into something on the pitch. You have their back because
Because
you've
you
been out
become
with
friends.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Become friends.
Yeah.
That's where you really get to know people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why they go and do these team bonding things and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Why you have your pre-season tours
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
go
yeah.
and you actually socialize together and get to know each other.
Yeah.
So we had quite a lot of young lads. Like I'm older than them boys,
Yeah.
but we had a really good group of youngsters. David Myler came in.
oh my days.
Danny Graham came in. We had Nick Proschwitz came in. He was a German striker. So we had a really good group. And yeah, it was just a really good time.
Yeah.
And then listen, we end up getting promoted to the Premier League. And again, I know that I've been promoted to the Premier League, but I'm probably not gonna play.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
But
mean?
but have you got that feeling of look, that's the one that I've wanted to get to the Prem and
Listen,
you know
that was my dream. Was always I just want to play in the Premier League.
yeah
I want to be able to say I've played in the Premier League.
yeah
That was my dream. It was a dream that I absolutely never ever thought I was ever gonna get near.
yeah
Like unrealistic dream,
yeah
but it's a dream anyway.
Yeah.
So then when we then go and get promoted, I'm like, well, I'm a Premier League player now.
yeah
I'm a Premier League player, but I'm not a Premier League player
yeah.
because I'm not gonna play.
Have they let you know you're not playing?
Yeah, I'd been out on loan.
Okay.
I'd gone on loan to Ipswich. And then I came back from my loan for, I think I'd gone for about 3 months. Came back, we get promoted.
Must have been a nice bonus, though.
Nice bonus.
Yeah, it must have been a lovely bonus, mate.
Yeah, the bonus was, and listen, you get the bonus, your wages double. Like it's a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, once you enjoy the euphoria of getting promoted and going away in the summer with all the lads, and then you come back. I come back to Hull and I don't get a squad number.
Okay.
So
Just like that. That's how they
You
tell
know
you.
where
Yeah.
it's going with that. innit?
So I don't get a squad number. Obviously, you have to announce a 25-man squad in the Premier League.
Mm,
Okay.
So I'm not in the 25-man squad.
mm.
So now, once we get to the beginning of the season, and the season's about to kick off, because I'm not in the 25-man squad, I now can't play. Even once the season kicks off, I can't play anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could get every single striker get injured in one game.
Yeah,
You can't-
you
because you're not in the
actually
squad, you
can't
can't
play.
play.
Yeah,
No.
that's crazy.
So I end up then going on loan to Birmingham. And the time that I'm at Hull still, before I go on loan, I'm just working hard to try and impress.
Yeah.
To try and show the manager that, look, I want to be here. I just want an opportunity.
Yeah.
Somehow, I end up getting that opportunity.
Okay.
When it comes round time to submit the second 25-man squad,
What's that, in January? Yeah.
I end up getting that opportunity.
Okay.
Now, I know I'm in the last year of my contract, so I know I'm not going to be given a new contract. But I end up getting the opportunity to be involved in a few games, but don't play. Then I start getting involved in a few of the cup games. And then we get a couple of injuries, and I'm involved against Tottenham at White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right. I end up coming, do you know what I mean? I end up making my debut
Yeah.
against Tottenham. I'm playing against like Walks, who's one of my friends.
Man.
And I'm like, I've done it.
Yeah, like, you
no,
fulfill the dream,
yeah.
I've
You've
done
done
it.
it. You've done it.
Wow.
Who's the centre back you're up against?
Vertonghen.
Don't say out of it. Oh, let me just pick up that name.
Vertonghen and someone else. I can't remember who the other one was. I remember just breezing Vertonghen one time.
I love it.
But it's weird because we played Tottenham in the league and played them in the cup, literally in the same week.
Okay.
In the cup, I ended up missing a penalty against Brad Friedel. That will hold me forever.
Oh.
But listen, I'd achieved a goal that I never thought was achieved.
You didn't think it was
And no one can
achievable.
take that away from you.
Through hard work and I mean, I think you're quite modest on your talent, but yeah, through hard work as well, man.
I put it all down to hard work. I know that I work hard. That's one thing I'm not arrogant about it, but I know I work hard.
Yeah.
In everything I do, I know that I work.
But let's be real, that transcends to talent as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can get better by
What's that
working
saying?
hard. Hard work beats talent. Talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
Now, I always bought myself time.
Yeah.
Wherever I was, I bought myself time to improve.
Yeah.
So when I was at Grays, I bought myself time to improve.
Yeah.
Because I worked so hard,
Mm.
even though I wasn't scoring the goals,
Yeah.
it was like, he's working so hard.
You can't knock a try.
So-
That's what I realized. You can't. This is what I try to say to my boy all the
do you know
time.
what? When you're in the Premier, you're making a debut. How old are you at this point?
Oh no. So now I must be like 27, 28.
Okay.
So
Wait.
it's quite late.
Was Dembele in that team? Musa Dembele?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
is Did you? So you played against him?
I think Musa played in one of the games.
Yeah, I think he's a bit of a cold legend. I don't know. I'm
He's
a bit in awe of
He's
him.
one of the greatest players.
Yeah.
Everyone says that.
Yeah.
You ask anybody,
Ridiculous.
they say that.
Listen, when I speak to if you speak to Aaron Lennon,
That's what I was going to ask you about. That's one of my idols.
Yeah.
Azza's one of the best guys you.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't speak highly enough of him, of how he is, how he's transformed what is such a dark period for him and come out the other side. But he's always just, with me anyway,
Yeah.
always been so humble and so giving and honestly, like unbelievable.
So that's interesting you touched on that because obviously I think he was very brave and rightly so. He came out of the mental health troubles and that. Is that something that you saw other players going through? Is that something that you recognised? I don't know how well you knew him at the time, but that he was going through. Is that something that you might have experienced yourself? Like what?
It's something that I think as time's gone on has been brought more to light
Yeah.
in terms of being able to spot things. I wouldn't have said I could spot it because whenever we'd see each other, it was usually when we're going out.
Okay.
So
Okay,
we're all
yeah.
going out. And,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we'd talk and whatever, but I'm playing for one club here. He's playing for a club. Do you know what I mean? He's at Tottenham.
Yeah.
I'm up north.
Yeah.
So it wasn't something that you could spot. I think now that I've come to the end of my career and players that I've played with and hearing how they've been and how they've handled it, and the situations that they've been through,
Mm.
I'm definitely more aware of it now.
Yeah.
I definitely understand.
You could
it
look
a
for
lot.
it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even so, going into coaching, I could definitely start spotting things in players that I'm like, I think he needs a bit of an arm around him. He needs a bit of a talking to, and
Yeah.
because things aren't right. And friends of mine who
Yeah.
who had been through depression and, you know, really, really struggling with mental health situations. So
Yeah.
I think it's good that it's so
That's spoken about.
yeah,
now.
so spoken about now.
It's
Yeah.
been brought to light a lot now,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Over the last few years.
And then now it's okay now to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? I think
Yeah, that
there was
stigma's been removed.
there was
isn't it?
there was a stigma. Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a
yeah,
stigma of
definitely.
like you don't talk. innit?
Almost like you're weak if you suffer
but
mentally.
now it's
weird.
like
And
yeah, now it's normal.
Yeah. And
Now
what
it's normal.
which is
what,
great.
what was your darkest time in football?
Oh, great question.
In football,
Yeah.
the toughest time was when I was at Bradford. So after Hull, I'd gone to Bradford.
Okay.
Now things started off okay, but then the manager wanted to get rid of me, and he wouldn't allow me to come into training.
Oh wow.
Now it kind of painted me as a bad egg,
I
which
hate
I've
that.
never been.
Okay.
I've never been,
I had a
Yeah.
feeling he was gonna say that. You know.
and so I wasn't allowed to come into training. I wasn't allowed to train with the kids. It wouldn't allow me to go to the clubs that I wanted to go to. So I literally was just at home for 8 weeks.
Wow.
Now, bear in mind,
Fit, but at home.
fit, like gone from playing to having a chat with the manager on maybe the Tuesday or the Wednesday, to then after that chat, him saying, look, I think it's best that you go, to then I'm not allowed in.
Who's the manager? you know.
Nah, so
Nah.
You don't want to say.
I don't blame him too.
I've said it. I've said it before. So Phil Parkinson was the manager.
Okay.
And it just, even to this day, listen, I don't know the ins and outs, but it came about. This was around Halloween. The team was going through a tough period. We was asked to all have a team meeting. We all figure out, like, speak, and then one of the senior players come in and tell the manager what's been said, etc.
Okay.
Cool. So we all have a chat. I'm the one that goes in to see the manager and the assistant manager and tell them what all the players have said, good or bad. But I'm just a spokesperson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not saying what player said what. You're just generic.
I'm the spokesperson. I'm not saying this is just what I'm thinking.
You know what I think this is what
I'm
on
the
behalf of
spokesperson.
everybody.
I relay what's been said.
What's that expression? Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
So at the time, it was like, oh, listen, thanks very much, appreciate it, blah, 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 cool. Later on that night, I get a call from the player liaison saying that I have to meet at the team hotel to meet the manager. Now, I'm oblivious. Like, when I say I'm going into this blind,
Yeah.
at no point am I thinking I'm going there. I've still got like 2 years on my contract.
Yeah.
At no point am I thinking I'm going to this meeting for the manager to tell me that he wants to get rid of me. It was never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. And the way that it went, everything surrounding that was poor.
Yeah.
It's poor.
Yeah.
As a man, it was poor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just about the football side of it. It's everything. Like, I'm a footballer who's got a short career. I've worked so hard to get to where I've got to. For me to then just be like, You're not coming in.
Yeah.
You're not allowed in. 8. And then 8 weeks, I'm having to ring the PFA. I'm having to get my own personal trainer. I'm just running around my state, like, to try and stay fit.
Yeah.
And it set me back hugely.
Yeah.
Because after 8 weeks, eventually, I was then allowed to go back to Peterborough. But I've not kicked a ball in 8 weeks.
Yeah. So you're playing catch
So
up.
I'm now, I can't, when I went back to Peterborough, there was no way I could do myself justice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And they were great with me because, Darren brought me back as a player and the club were great and whatever, but I wasn't the same player.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Do you think it was
I'm
a mental
midway through.
or
I'm midway
physically?
through. I think it was the timing.
Okay.
Like, they wasn't in a good place anyway. The team wasn't great.
Okay.
When I went back, it was nowhere near what it was when I left.
Yeah.
So they were in a transitional period and I wasn't fit, but they wanted me to come in and play
Yeah.
90 minutes
Yeah.
every game.
And be
Which
influential as well.
And
Yeah.
be influential.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
it definitely set me back. But again, I look at that situation and I'm like, now I'm cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
For years, I carried a grudge.
And
Yes.
understandably,
yeah,
because it's tough how things like that can happen, especially when no clear reason is given to you. Yeah, I think that's what it's like. Like you're saying, on a man-to-man level, if someone that's come and sat you down and said, "Look, you don't fit into my plans," but that maybe you can take.
Listen, if you give me the honesty,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even a case. It's not a case of we have the chat. Once we've had the chat, okay, right. I've said I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
No problem. Why am I not being allowed to train?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm not allowed to train with you and you don't want me, why can't I train with the kids?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Let me
The
just
best.
kick
Keep
over.
fit,
Let
yeah.
me just do
Let
something.
me do what I'm
But,
being
like,
paid
now
to
they've
do.
made it
Yeah.
out like, and it's bad because if the media get hold of something like that, it's like you've done something
It's a
major.
reputation, isn't
It's
it?
just
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's
so
just
I
a
was
reputation.
painted as this bad influence, and
Yeah.
then fans turn on you.
Yeah.
of course they do.
Yeah.
So, like when I say the fan, and it's always a minority, no doubt, but a minority of fans turn on me. I'd gone to Peterborough. Then obviously Peterborough and Bradford were in the same division. Darren Ferguson gets the sack. I end up being one of the coaches. So the chairman asked me if I'll help out the new manager, who was Dave Robertson, who had been the academy manager.
Okay.
So they promoted him to first team manager.
Yeah.
And myself and Grant McCann were his assistants. Our first game were against Bradford. So they were like, he's not allowed to be involved. He's not allowed to be on the bench. Like, I'm not allowed to be anywhere near it.
What, is that unfair of you doing something crazy or what?
They just, because
This
obviously
sounds so extreme.
they're paying
man.
me.
Yeah.
I'm the highest paid player at the club. They're paying me, but I'm helping another League One team.
Oh, come on.
But I'm not wanted.
Yeah.
And not because
that's not your fault.
I don't. I want to be there,
Yeah.
but they don't want me.
Yeah.
But that's anyway. The amount of abuse and like,
What, we talking about like fan mail and letters to your house? Well,
nah, just social media. Really.
Oh, social media, yeah.
Social media.
Yeah.
And them times I was quite active on social media.
Okay.
So when people come at me, I'm like, well, listen, I live in Leeds.
Yeah.
If you got something to say,
Come and say it. Yeah,
I'll be in Leeds.
Yeah.
Like, I was, do you know what I mean? I don't agree. I look now and I think that's probably stupid because anything could happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I was quite active then. But some of the things that people would say and like the racist abuse,
Yeah.
because that always comes out.
That was the next thing I was going to ask. Yeah,
I didn't want to go there, but yeah.
No, I wanted to go.
It's-
I wanted to go.
Do you know what I mean?
'cause,
So that was probably in football.
Yeah.
That was my darkest time. That period of where I wasn't able to play.
Yeah.
And then what followed it, even whilst I'd gone to Peterborough, I wasn't myself. I was getting bombarded constantly with abuse and whatever.
But still from Bradford fans.
Still from Bradford, the whole time I was at Peterborough.
Okay.
And like I say, I still had 80 months left of my deal.
Yeah.
So once my loan deal ran out at Peterborough, the following season, I'm back at Bradford.
Yeah.
After having all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way. Like, I was dreading going back.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Thinking, there's no way I can go back.
Yeah,
I can't go back and work with a manager.
Yeah.
I can't go back and I have to then deal with everything that I've been dealing with. And at the time, even though now I look and I know it's a minority, at the time it just seems like it's everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It seems like
Yeah.
it's-
I
You're
don't
getting
know.
it from every angle.
It just,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're getting it
It
from every
felt
angle.
like it was the whole club.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone that supported Bradford.
Yeah.
We're just on you, yeah.
Now, I know that, and do you know what? I've got a shout out to there was some Bradford fans that would message me and be like, listen, what you're getting is disgusting. You don't
Okay.
deserve it.
Yeah.
We're not all like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there was some.
There's some
Yeah.
stand-up
that-
people,
there was
Yeah.
some that really reached out to try and hammer home that, look, this is a minority
Yeah.
of people.
This is not
It seems
reflective
like
of
it
us.
seems
Yeah.
worse than
What was anything done?
nothing's
Nothing's done.
nothing's ever done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was just a case of, I was just blocking
Blocking at a rapid
honestly,
rate,
it
yeah.
was
Like
block,
block button became your
yeah.
best
But
friend.
But then
what else
block,
can you do, though?
and then
Yeah.
like create other accounts.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Come back and
Yeah.
it was, in the end, it just became like, you know,
Yeah.
and then once I'd left, it was fine. They were happy,
Yeah.
and I was obviously happy.
Wow.
I got a question though.
Yeah,
Before
do
you
you
go.
know what? Where time is
Of
time-
the essence,
time-
yeah.
we need
No,
to
but we
start.
just need to know if you had a
100%.
song, because that's his thing.
Yes, please.
He loves the song. He
Okay,
loves-
yeah. 2 questions on that. So since we're speaking about fans and fans interaction, the best set of fans you played for, Peterborough fans.
I
Yeah.
knew it. I knew
And
it.
is that because of the affinity between you and them?
Yeah. I think that was my most successful time in my career.
Yeah.
And my relationship with the Peterborough fans has always been so strong.
So I'm guessing they had a song for you.
They did.
Hey, we need to hear the song. Hey, since Mike, back to the mic skills.
Yeah.
We need to hear the song.
It wasn't a great song. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. Like, you could have done better.
Disclaimer.
Peterborough
But they
fans.
called
Yeah.
me like Aaron McClean, the goal machine. Aaron McClean, the goal machine.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's a
that-
decent
no,
song.
that's
Yeah.
a good song. That's a good song.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm having that. I'm
So
having
even
that.
now, like that's what they call me, the goal machine.
Sick. Wait, the songs get carried over to like other clubs, I wonder. Or did like the whole fans have a different song for you, or how did that
Our
work?
fans did have a song, but I can't remember it.
Okay.
I can't remember it.
Okay.
But yeah, Peterborough ones, like even to this day, if I cover a Peterborough game,
Yeah.
I sing the song.
They still singing the
Yeah.
song. Yeah, that's stuck with. Okay, sick. I'm just trying to see anything that I really wanted to know that I didn't quite get in.
Are you gonna do the
Yeah,
gem?
I am. But however, you might have to remind me about your gem, you know. Yeah, I know it's bad. It's poor. I can't remember.
Hey, this is Paul.
I know. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, do you want to know
Apologise.
something worse?
Go on.
I don't even
Oh.
remember. Hey,
That's how
the-
boring it was.
Yeah, that's how I thought it
That's
was,
how
yeah.
it is.
No, come on. You must be able to remember, man.
I can't remember.
What, do you have a gem question?
Yeah, so,
So
what
what
we
we
do, yeah, usually like we like to end the show on like we call it dropping a gem. So giving like word of advice. And then the last guest, we tell you their gem. And then you kind of leave one for the next guest sort of thing. So we just keep it rolling, a bit of interaction between the guests. He was the last guest and he can't
But
remember his own gem.
He's like there to do this.
Yeah, but come
And
on.
he normally remembers. He normally writes it down, but because it was me, he don't even remember.
Because it was you, I thought you'd remember.
but we just want a gem, so
Alright.
we can do because the guest before me left. Was it he said about
It costs
doesn't
nothing
cost
to be
nothing
nice.
to be nice?
Yeah.
We spoke about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did speak
Earlier.
about that actually earlier.
Yeah.
We spoke about that.
So what would be your gem?
My gem, and this was just something that I was told, is enjoy working hard.
Oh, I like that.
Enjoy working hard. And that is something that I've latched onto, and even, like I say, now, anyone I speak to, I'm like, if you enjoy it,
Yeah.
and you make yourself enjoy it,
Yeah.
it's not hard work.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's a gem,
Enjoy
you know.
working
And
hard,
that's
yeah.
whether or not it's training, whether it's doing my prep for a game, whether it's
Yeah.
you guys at whatever time at night,
Yeah.
having to put the work in, if you're trying to get a studio, if you're trying to get a guest, whatever it is you're doing,
Yeah.
enjoy working hard because you'll enjoy the rewards even more.
100%.
Oh my days, that's a gem.
Yeah, it's about enjoying that process, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone's concerned about the final
The
destination.
outcomes, yeah.
But once you get to the final destination, you want a different destination
A different
anyway.
destination, yeah.
You have the journey. The journey's where the best part is.
Yeah, 100%.
The
It's,
journey's the
it's
best
usually the
part.
longest part as well. That's the worst thing.
And
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah. Love it, man.
I love that.
Listen, it's been a pleasure. Do you know what? No, before we go, very quickly, I just want a bit about how you got onto doing the work that you're doing now, the punditry, and how did that happen?
Okay, so two things. There's two parts to this. The first one was, so during COVID, I got let go from Peterborough. They had to make cutbacks. And they'd created a job for me, and obviously mine was one of the first to go when that period came about. So I did a interview for Sky and did an interview for TalkSport the following day.
Okay.
And they liked the way that I came across and presented. And shout out to Daniel Blanchett. He was the one that organised, him and his guys had set up a meeting for me to do those things. And they liked me. So they asked me to start covering a couple of games.
Okay.
I'd prepped to the heavens and back.
Yeah.
And they liked it. And I started to get more and more games. And I was persistent with it as well. You know, I'd contact them and be like, look, I'm free if you want me to do any more.
Yeah.
They'd come to me. And that's kind of how it started. And then I gradually became more of a regular on Sky Sports News. And it just snowballed from there that other networks reached out. But within that, during the season when I scored 33 goals for Peterborough in League Two, we played Yeovil away, and a guy called Nick Howes was having his stag do. Now, I didn't know him. It was George Boyd had said, look, some of our mates are up. They're having a stag do. Like, will you go over and have some pictures taken with them or whatever?
Okay.
It's like, yeah, no worries. Go over, we have some pictures. And I'm like, he's dressed as a French maid. They're all in fancy dress.
Oh, yeah.
He's dressed as a French maid. And I say to him, I'm going to score today. And I'll come and celebrate.
Okay.
Anyway, we win 1-0. I score. I go straight over and celebrate with him. You'll probably be able to. You'll be able to.
I will
find it
check
on
this
the
out. I
internet.
can't wait to check this
And
out.
he dusts my head with a feather duster.
Okay.
Okay? Fast forward 15 years. He's one of the producers at Sky. Now, I never knew who this guy was all this time.
Yeah.
I'd never heard it from him again.
Yeah.
Fast forward, he and his wife works at Sky as well.
Okay.
They, to this day, still speak about that.
That
And
incident.
saying,
That
like,
time.
that made his...
I can imagine
That,
that. I can
that must have
imagine.
made it.
And he's so grateful. So I've had people in my corner. Like, he's been in my corner
Yeah.
and saying, listen, like, and he openly said, look, you'll get an opportunity.
Yeah.
The rest is down to you. If
Okay.
you're good, then you'll get more bookings.
Yeah.
If you're not, then
Yeah.
you won't.
Yeah.
The rest is
You had
down
the
to you.
opportunity. Yeah.
But it's just because of how I am,
Yeah.
like, for me to take the time out to go and see them and have pictures and have a chat with them for a bit.
Yeah.
And then to say, look, it's your stag do, I'll try and do something good for you.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'd like to end on this saying because of how you are. It's honestly, it's been a pleasure you coming down today.
Definitely.
You definitely didn't have to. So you being here, like it's amazing, and I think that's testament again to who you are. So yeah, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you.
It's been
That's a
insightful.
pleasure.
and
That's a
everything.
wrap.
Yeah. So
It's a pleasure.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett.
one league.
One league.